Who are you? Who are we?
Well, we're both artists.
My name is Wendy Marvel.
I'm Rosen.
And we're FlipBooKit.
Mr. and Mrs. FlipBooKit. Got something on your... I don't think the camera would pick it up, but you had a little spot there.
Chocolate?
Maybe it was. Let me see again. Look up at me. After we met, what is it, like 14 years ago, Wendy was quizzing me and looking at my stuff, and she found a sketchbook and she was like, "You're an artist, aren't you?" And I said, "No." And then she looked at my sketchbook and she said, "No, you're an artist." And I said, "Yeah, okay." And we started making art together.
These were some of the first that we ever built. We were going to aerospace junkyards and getting old chassis. This is a metal chassis from outside of a plane, or inside of a plane, and just refashioning the whole thing. Everything is metal hand tooled. And when people start seeing this art at shows we were doing, they said, "Where can we get one?" And we're like, "Well, you can have this." And they're like, "No, too expensive. Like, can you make something we can put our own stuff into?" The story behind doing a DIY kit for people to make their own, we originally said, no, we won't do that. But it was really endearing to us to see how joyful and excited people got to see that motion in a box. And then envisioning people putting themselves in that box. Wow, that for us was the motivator. This one's our niece. Actually, they're both our nieces.
Gosh, that was so cute.
This one, Emily gave this to her grandmother. People are so curious because everything's automated and digital. So going back to analog, super important for people to see that.
Well, we liked that it was marrying like the new technology of cell phone cameras and digital technology with this obsolete technology of fluttering images on a flipbook.
Sometimes we look at our art as our children, and we're building this and we've created this, and now we just send it off into the world.
It's sort of like kids can be your legacy, and the art we make is also sort of like a legacy. Yeah, you could look at it that way.
But kids can be a trial, and cranky or give you joy, and I mean all those aspects are kind of what happens.
It's a lot of pressure on our kid because our kid named Art is supposed to help support the family too.
That's a nice way to say that. We started dating, and my friend knew that we were both artists. They said, "Wait, do you know about the balloon and the string?" And I said, "What's that?" And he's like, "You can't have two balloons. Somebody's got to be a string and someone's a balloon. Someone's floating with their creative artsy-fartsy, and the other person is a string, and they hold that person, they stabilize it." And I said, "No, we're both artists."
I wanted to make an actuated pendulum, and I actually had mounted a bunch of coils into a plastic sphere to move the pendulum around, and built a gimbal and everything. And then I found out an easier way to do it, but this was such a cool prototype to build that I just keep it laying around even though it's not practical.
He's a great engineer. He can rip anything apart, put it back together in a different way, and he made this beautiful little flip book.
Well, I was trying to find an old train station sign to make it out of.
Like a split flap.
Yeah,
Like
there was one in South Africa, that I could have shipped out, but I figured, well, it's just a motor spinning a spindle, so we made one.
Can you guys see that? So it's a little lion that's falling down the hill. We're so full of ideas, you guys, and they're not always the same. So we bump and you go off in a different direction, and trying to focus forward instead of out is, I think, the main issue. It is like two balloons. Probably.
And we're both more balloon than string, but somehow we managed to tangle our strings up too.
I was thinking, wow, do you start to become like a single cell organism? And is there osmosis, like where you have what we're creating comes into us, or what we're creating goes out into the environment?
To me, it's more about us finding a happiness together. And it just so happens that we share this joy about creating and creating an environment and sharing it with other people. It's a blast to sit back and see all these people pushing buttons down the row and going, wow, laughing. And so it's certainly a big part of our motivation.
Yes, we love to play. We're not artists, we're kids.